Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. The Daily Compliance News for February 21, 2023, the CEO Whisperer edition. And we begin with that story from the Financial Times. So who do bosses turn to in their hour of needs? Some leaders use trusted insiders. Others rely on professional critics to tell them uncomfortable truths. The problem or the issue is you just need someone you can talk to. I was president of the Greater Houston Business and Ethics Roundtable for a couple of years in Houston. And one of the things I learned in that position was every leader needs one person who will absolutely tell them the truth no matter what. And you can say anything to them. You can ask them anything. They will give you unmitigated feedback when you need it. So if you find yourself in that position, whether you're a manager, whether you're a CCO, or whether you're a CEO, find one person that you can absolutely ask anything of and say anything to. Next up from Reuters, Facebook gets a quick or a short reprieve as it temporarily fought off a collective lawsuit, aka UK class action, over its abuse of users' personal data. Facebook claimed, or Meta claimed, that the class action did not specify or did not identify with specificity the damages of each member of the class. And so the court said the plaintiffs needed to go back and do that, which I expect they will do. But one thing is certain, given the White Castle case, you can see where companies who abuse personal data are going to be significantly fined for it. Next up from the Washington Post, the U.S. has fined the meatpacking giant Packer Sanitation Services for hiring children to clean meatpacking plants. And by this, I mean children as young as 13 years old. And they were also hired to clean some of the saws and other dangerous equipment. So the American tradition of sending your children to work is bumping up against the realities of labor laws. And finally, from Bloomberg, ex-JPMorgan trader Frederick Marino was found guilty Monday in a Southwark Crown Court for defrauding Libya. He was tried in absentia, and a bench warrant was issued for his arrest, but it involves the theft of money from the Malaysian Sovereign Wealth Fund going forward. So another conviction against a former JPMorgan trader. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.